I am second grade A, and I'm going to talk about Centenary of the Padre Josefinos arrival in Ecuador. The Congregation of Saint Joseph is a clerical religious congregation of the Catholic Church of Pontifical Right formed by Leonardo Murialdo in Turin, Italy, on March 1973. The members of this assembly are known as Josefinos and Murialdo. Leonardo Murialdo, an Italian priest, since his ordination, dedicated himself to the care and education of poor young in the various oratories in Turin. He was a great help in the Bosco's educational ministry. It was under the rule of Murialdo's successors that the congregation knew its expansion outside of Italy. They arrived to Ecuador in 1922. And for your attention. And remember, do the right and make it the right. Purpose and activities. Leonardo Murialdo proposed a marriage in which the Josefinos inspired this marriage carried forward the following principles. Obedience to the will of the Father, with the spirit of faith, evangelical option for a poor, hidden and laborious life, family spirit live in humility, in charity, and in welcoming everyone, especially the most disadvantaged, direct commitment to the formation of young people.
The mission arrived in the Ecuadorian Amazon in 1922 in response to an invitation that the Congregation of I sent to Padre General in 1921 with the objective of founding a mission in the Napo region. Emilio Checo and Jorge Rossi were the first missionaries of the order to arrive in Ecuador on May 24, 1922. Educational strategies articulated with evangelization were promoted which allowed central, political, social, economic, and cultural transformation in the Alto Napo region.
The story begins here. In 1946, people from Salinas wake up with real desires to progress in the field of education and culture. In various social circles of this noble city, all in their own way, urge about the need to find a competent institution that imparts Christian education to peninsular children. Mr. Miguel de Rubira Ramos and Miss Luz Maria Vaquero stand out, who in turn is accompanied by her mother, Miss Carmen Morna de Vaquero. This committee looks to prestigious religious institution dedicated to education. Thanks.
Hi, we are commemorating the centenary of Josefinos of Murialdo arrival in Ecuador in 1922. In 1947, Luis Selmo, accompanied by Luis Rizzo and Carlos Verdoya, who was in charge of the Napo mission and the Josefinos' work, traveled to Salinas. Here in Peninsular lands, the Rubira Ramos family received them with tenderness.
Hello, the noble Rubira family are composed of three heirs of God. Maria, her husband Miguel, Carmen, her mother, very good, for the benefit of the poor population, offering besides scientific education, especially the moral formation. Commander Alfonso Espinosa, Mayo, Francisco Larrea, give a cordial welcome and provide them a simple and modest house on May 26 in the city of Salinas. Begin the Provincial was inaugurated with the presence of Father Tomás Conder, parish priest of Salinas. Thank you.
Continuing with the history and waiting for the blessing of our God to produce and benefits, which speaker Miss Luz Maria de Rovira, Person Carlos Bedoya, and the Municipal Council of Salinas President Mr. Carlos Espinosa Larrea. Also, there are present a company president, Guy Alfrag, and few designated representatives of the children collaborating by donating their festive furniture for the school.
Centenary of the Padre Josefinos' arrival in Ecuador. The Rubira family began to grow on September 15. Great for semen arrived in the community. They were Fer Pedro Porras and Alonso Perez. They restructured the distribution of work. Fer Pedro Porras was the principal director of the school and was in charge of the 5th and 6th grade. Fer Luis Selmo was in charge of 3rd and 4th grade, while Mr. Alonso Perez directed the youngest of 1st and 2nd grade. 3 days later, Brother Rizzo traveled to the city of Ambato, beginning his theology studies. Another quality that must be cultivated in education is the saturation of joy and knowing how to share it. On October 8th at night at the theater of the military base, the San Jose School presented to the public of Salinas a beautiful social hour that was highly applauded by number and select public present. They honored us with their presence, the Rubira family. The base commander, Major Lopez, and his assistant, Major Francisco Larrea.
Good morning, community Rubiri. My name is Dario Pereiro Matthews. A week of argument and report was written on June 3 is enabled a debut element church, which was inaugurated religious on Thursday 5 at the religious festival of Corpus Christi. After fixing the modest little house of Jesus Sacramento, reside, they began to organize the industry complement in education, such as sport. 2 months after the arrival of Josefinos, with uniform donated by Mr. Miguel de Rubio Ramos. The next day, they made their successful debut playing way and winning to the Minglarot Catholic School. But fitting, Chris died later. They lost on the field of the military base. The little house where the prince life was narrow, uncomfortable, and the place given for the classroom and it is team to think in something big to provide with a good education to children and younger that live at the peninsula of Centenary. For this reason, they began to look for a place where they knew budget for this education work can they build on August 22. The father Carlos Bedoya went to Salinas Cantonal Council and the different brothers signing at the rent contract throwing the salines covered gain onto the Josephine congregation on hectares and 2 square meters in San Lorenzo, sector Salvinas, with the following condition: the must buy annually 360 sucres. The intendant is obligated to oblige on the twinning the term of 2 years. In addition of that, the tenant is obligated of funds is land with a period of 60 days contract at a duration of 5 years. Thank you.
And the law for the nation? Well, next day it was commemorated the independence of Guayaquil. Students were uniformed until the rhythm of the musical band of institution carried Galani from the Leones Avenue to the factory of salt. Then they returned to participate in the race of the flag in the front of the city hall and in the large inauguration of Sucre's monument. After this memorable and caring performance, students obtained as a reward a complete day for resting.
On October 27, based of the argument number 128, signed by Mr. Luis Moreno Fuentes, Scholar Inspector in charge of the Educational District of the Guayas Province. Mr. Fuentes provisionally granted the permission of the operation of a private school just for men located in Salinas. Unfortunately, the glorious institutional name of San Jose, who is the main saint patron of the Josefinos of Murialdo, just lasted 5 months.
Centenary of the Padre Josefinos arrival in Ecuador. Good scares! On November 13, the principal priest started to celebrate the Mass at 5 a.m. While celebrating the Mass, the priest felt a deep pain on his stomach. As a consequence of that, the Mass was called. On a different scenario, a similar situation like this one happened. The priest, Porras, was also celebrating the Mass in the chapel of the military base when he fell down, suddenly. Therefore, 2 military doctors attended to these situations. The diagnosis was not good at all. The 2 priests got a terrible intoxications and had to follow a treatment of 1 entire week in order to recover their good health. Thus, 1 week later, everything was right again. The priests wanted to forget the hard situations they had to face and decided to set off a trip to San Pablo. There, they fell into the temptations of going to Palmar. Thank you.
One returner, another situation was presented. The car where they driving back to their homes stopped on the road. Sweating, pushing, getting dirty, and extremely tired, they arrived to their final destination, the main Josephines authorities in Ecuador, Monsignor Maximiliano Spider, with the Father Carlos Verdoya. On December 2nd, came to visit this corner of the hunt. They were kindly received by the working Rivera family. With one they deliberated and made great decisions. They signed a contract for the construction of La Obra Josefina in this blue paradise of the South Pacific.
On December 16, on 1947, there was a light desert landscape on the side of the La Libertad, Salinas. Halfway from the front desert, near Santa Rosa, a small dog of simple fishermen, armed with picks and shovels. 4 workers opened the first ditches. With care, they plant the bases and slowly the first wells begin to germinate. With God blessing promising prospect, sprout and choking heat become the obra Josefina. With the grass scope in her Ecuadorian blue quads. Thank you.